Mm, mm, mm. It's a horrible intro. It's a horrible intro. Mm. Well, the market definitely looks bullish. I mean, I guess we shouldn't be surprised by this, but it definitely looks bullish. Mm. It does look like it wants to make a full-fledged retracement here, which I guess should be no surprise to no one. Mm. Yeah, I think. Mm. Mm. We got the ES breaking over. Is that Wednesday's orb? And we got price breaking over Wednesday's orb. About to test Wednesday's high actually too. I didn't even notice that even happened. Mm. So that means that we have all this room for upside on the ES then. Mm. You have all that room for upside. Mm. Mm. Mm, mm, mm. Hey, what's up, Cave Trader? Mm. Yeah, I think I got about 8K left. Got like 8K left in the account, so I'm almost there. Should probably take me maybe like the rest of this month. Yeah, I appreciate that, Cave Trader. I think what's the most impressive about me doing this is that I did have a couple of days where I took some mini trades in this account, but for the most part, these are all micros. For the most part, I did have some close calls with some minis though. Mm. And I believe this is probably like my 15th or 16th day trading in eval, doing it slow and steady. So my Tradify accounts, I mean I trade it the same way, like in a systematic way in the Tradify accounts with gold. I have a setup that I trade. Hmm. Yeah. And so far it's been profitable. I don't know why there's times where I second guess the setup on gold when it's really consistent. It's like it's the most consistent setup that gold has. That break a structure pullback trade. Sometimes I feel like it's too good to be true. So I find myself not taking it sometimes and get disappointed when it continues to work. As crazy as that sounds. Oof. Damn, it would have found a way. I mean, I wouldn't have taken this trade, but 390. Oof, that would have been 9 points. It would have missed me. Uh, I've only had a few red days in this account, believe it or not. I think all together, It actually, I haven't had too many red days in this account. I took the loss this week. That day where I had like two losses. Forgot what like Tuesday. Oh, sorry. It was like Tuesday or something like that. I took a $200, $300 loss, and I easily made that back. This morning, actually, I think I took another loss today. I think it was like $100 loss or something like that. When I looked at it, it was $180. But then I have to take into account the drawdown too. So I think I was up like maybe five. Actually, I really don't know how much I was up, but I got to take into account the drawdown because even though I got my targets hit this morning, I added to that position and I lost. I lost that position. Hmm. Yeah, R1 would probably be my R1 would be my target. I will kind of share something today. For no reason whatsoever, I felt compelled to over leverage in that account that I was working on. The account that we're trading on stream. Something clicked and it was like I'm taking too long to pass it. And I wanted to just over leverage and get it over with. It's just another example of at the end of the road, you are the final boss. Because I felt compelled to self-sabotage. Putting on a bunch of micros that adds up to 4 or 5 minis and try to hurry up and pass this account because I guess I'm tired of it, but no, I can't do that. Like I said, I've already done it in this account, and each time I told myself that I'm not going to do it again, and mm, I always find myself trying to convince myself to do it. I don't know why, but it's just definitely a compulsion. Hey, what's up, Investor Z? I will say this about the ES though. I am kind of tempted to kind of get long in ES because it's taking out the orb high, and it looks like it's going to take out Thursdays or not Thursdays, but Wednesday's high. So it's taking out the orb high on Wednesday, and it looks like it's going to take out Wednesday's high, and we could potentially see a move up here on ES. I'm really tempted to take this long on ES. Really tempted. And it looks like the Nasdaq is about to do the same thing with yesterday's orb high. But honestly, I just don't trust it. I'll just trade whatever tomorrow. We do have that conference with Trump and Putin. Trump has promised severe consequences if Putin doesn't come to an agreement tomorrow. He promises economic hardship for Russia if it does not come to an agreement about the war tomorrow. So we'll see how that plays out. We also have OPEX tomorrow. So we're going to have a lot of monthly contracts. I mean, unless they closed it today. Unless they close out those contracts today, we should have a lot of monthly contracts expiring. Looks like we got a lot. So, that's interesting. So, is the Trump Putin meeting's going to be at 7:30 tomorrow? Well, that does nothing for anybody, obviously. Well, we already knew that Russia was going to maintain the land that it had taken over. For Russia to give that land back would be seen as weak. It will make Putin look weak amongst his peers, and that was not going to happen. So we talked about that, and it's not a surprise that that's actually on the table here. I don't know what it is about overseas, but it just seems like, well, it happens over here too. I'm not saying that it's not, but it just seems like the leaders overseas, their whole personality is what's going to make me look strong and what will make me appear weak. It's like their whole, like everybody over there is like that. That's their personality. We want to exhibit strength. We want to be seen as strong. We're going to do things not for the sake of hurting anybody, but a show of strength. So when people even think about messing with us, they know that there will be retaliation. I think that's what Napoleon and his small army, attack, attack, and attack again. And it just seems like that's just the mentality over there. Mm. All right, so we have a lot of news dropping at 7:30. I mean, it's a typical time frame, so that's nothing new. Looks like at 9 o'clock we have business inventories, the consumer expectation, consumer sentiment, the 1 in 5 year consumer inflation expectation. That should be market moving. We got the Trump meeting at 2:30, but that does nothing for us. Absolutely nothing. The market, I mean, that's 30 minutes until the close. So the only people that are trading at those hours are tilt traders. Those are tilt trading hours. So I mean, hopefully we don't get choppy price action, but I mean we should expect it. So you said, why did the market dump early? Well, let me ask you this. I mean, yeah, the market dumped, but if you look at the overall picture, I mean, this looks like a pullback, does it not? I don't know if y'all can see that. I mean, on the higher time, this is the hourly chart on the Nasdaq. We have this big move up, break a structure around 800. Uh, we had price literally pull back to this area right here. This is a pullback. I don't think. I mean, I guess you could call it a dump, but that was a breaker structure and a pullback. And price, it looks like price is probably going to continue to trade higher here. Like I said, the ES looks like it's primed to continue to go. It looks like it, but man, I don't want to trade it. I do want to. Yeah, and dude, it didn't even touch it. It didn't even come close to it. The closest it came was 863. I knew. I mean, and this is what I'm talking about. I hate calling out levels and I don't take them. I hate it. 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 I was looking at 766 for an entry, and that would have been a perfect entry. Literally a perfect entry. And I didn't take it. I don't know why. I mean, I guess I was like, well, I think I was on. Well, I think I just had a losing trade. I scaled in. It stopped me out, and I guess I convinced myself that, well, 866 is a good level, but I mean, why wouldn't these rainbow bears target the range low? So I was like, you know what? The range low would probably be a better entry. So you know it hurt my feelings when price pushed up at around 866, 862 to be exact. And it didn't even get nowhere near the bottom of this opening range. So oh shit, my bad solo trades. He said it's Stockport. Damn. Well, you know what, man? If you see some bullishness tomorrow, I'm pretty sure we can probably see a lot of recovery. Actually, let's look at that. Let's look at SPY. I kind of go back and forth about SPY a lot. Sometimes I look at it, sometimes I don't. Let's see what SPY is doing. Again, this is not financial advice, but on a daily chart on SPY, you know what? It does look like SPY could potentially recover. I mean, obviously there's no price action to the left. I didn't realize that SPY was trading at 644. I didn't realize that. Huh. I didn't know SPY came back all the way to. Hold on. I was about to say, I was like, dude, what? It's like, I know that's not true. So SPY dumped all the way back down to about. Damn. Okay, I didn't know that. SPY came back all the way down to about 480. Wow, I didn't know that. I didn't know that. Hmm. Looks like it double topped at 613. It dumped all the way to 480, and then it took out the highs, and now shit. Mm. When you see this pattern right here, this is not financial advice, but when you see this pattern right here, when you see a break, a push back up, a pullback, this is a great buying opportunity. This is a great buying opportunity right here, where it forms that low. You see that pattern. I see that pattern a lot. That break, or the break to the downside, push up, and just buying that dip right there is usually the money trade right there. It just seems like the break and pullback is always the money trade. It's always going to be the money trade. $640. When the market is, well, this is why I kind of stopped trading options. When the market is not volatile, To make money on these options on SPY, you have to trade zero DTEs. And if I had if I had like a $2,000, $5,000 account to trade zero DTEs, I would do it. Because if I can make money trading out of the money options and wait for price to come into the money to take profits, I can start taking I can start buying at the money zero DTEs. And if you're trading zero DTEs, you're only supposed to be trading at the money or deep in the money, or at the money, or a couple of strikes out of the money, maybe 2 or 3 strikes above. Looks like my gold play is going to work, and this is the setup that I'm talking about right here. That like that push down, a push back up, them holding it right there, and then pushing it right back up. We should see gold at least recover to probably about 390 ish, at least this high. But we could see a big run on gold because we could see this big run on gold because the market trended all day. And I feel kind of silly because I thought that gold was not going to fill my small little 9 point target. And gold literally makes a, let's see. So, because I took this short right here. So I was in short at 403 this morning before the stream. 403, and I thought it was going to miss my target. Or not miss it, but I thought it was going to give me a hard time. But man, was I wrong. So 403, price gets down to 375. That was literally a 28-point move on gold here. Yeah, we could potentially see price at least come back up to 393 at least. I mean, it's potential. It could potentially go further. I mean, if the bulls can hold this breakout out of this trend line, kind of like what they're doing now, they can hold this break at this trend line right here. I mean, it's kind of already the writing's on the wall here because we already kind of got price breaking out of this structure. The bulls held that small little pullback at the trend line, and now we have price potentially moving to the upside here. So hold on, why's my stop so? Hold on, I'm on. What the? I just realized my stop was. Why is my stop this far back? I was about to say that's crazy. I did not put my stop back that far. 380.4 minus 75. No. Oh, okay. I guess so. Never mind. Mhm. Hey, Alfred, now that you're going to start your personal account, are you going to start trading RTY as well alongside ES? Since everybody is now an ES trader now? What did the Nasdaq do to everybody? I mean, I know I took my break from her, but I came back. Why is everybody leaving the Nasdaq and going to the MES? I mean, that is 15 points right there. 466. So it's about like 20 points. I mean, you made 20 points in this move. I mean, that's decent. You said it's hard to survive 80-point pullbacks. I mean, the ES can be just as ruthless if you're not, excuse me. I mean, the ES can be just as ruthless if you're not patient. If you're not patient with the ES, she can be just as ruthless. Yeah. 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 Yeah, definitely. Dude, that's definitely true. What's more tilt inducing is the NASDAQ bouncing from your entry, missing your target, stopping you out, then bouncing and then hitting all your targets. That's tilt inducing as well. But as I sit with the ES and look at all the easy money that was made, you definitely have to trade size. I mean, I mean, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it on ES. You have to. I've been trying. I've been trying. I've been thinking about different ways on how to approach trading the ES because we know that the ES orb is the superior orb. We know that, but mm, you need some size on ES, man. You need size, and I don't want to get into the habit of trading size on ES because you're not making no money on no one contract. You're not making money with micros on the ES. You're just not going to do it unless you get 20 points. I mean, so if you're trading one micro ES contract, 10 points, $50 on one contract. One mini contract, you get $500. Mm. Mm. I started on. I think maybe everybody starts on ES. Only a few of us stick with it. It's like we all start playing as Ryu or Ken in Street Fighter, but only a certain few people stick with those characters and main them. Mm. Uh, Genji asking me, what am I waiting for to get in on? Are you talking about Nasdaq or ES? What am I waiting for? Well, I don't trust this. I think this is the trap. I think 927 might actually be the top for tonight. But that's just me thinking. The market looks bullish. At least on the higher candle, it looks bullish. But the one thing I don't like is there's the lack of follow through. I'm looking at the ES and it looks like Thursday's high looks like it's kind of stopped up right there. So I don't know. I don't think I don't think the market moves up tonight, but that's just my assumption. It could, it could, but my assumption is that it doesn't. Even though it does look bullish, man. I mean, you can't deny that that's not a bullish candle. But you know what? We do got a lot of selling. We do have this follow up candle. I mean, it's still an inside candle, but it is the body of this candle is trading above the previous body candle or the previous candle body. I don't know. Yeah, congratulations on that. You said that so where are you trading? Cuz did you take like a Nasdaq trade cuz the ES barely did anything unless you got in long at the open or unless you got in long at about 7:30. You said that you're waiting on the stochastic RSI to actually reverse. So explain to me, how does that work? So when it comes to the ES, I try to keep it as simple as possible. I know a lot of traders. I know Investor Z kind of put me on RSI, but I kind of fell off from that. Uh, is that something different than regular RSI? But yeah, when it comes to ES, I just tend to just keep it simple. Just trade the edges. I feel like that's because you kind of have to be perfect trading the ES. If you're not going to trade size on the ES, you're going to trade one contract. You have to milk ES for every point that is available to it that it gives to you. You kind of have to be perfect. And I just find just trading the edges is just that simple. I don't trade the middle on ES because 9 times out of 10 you'll become liquidity trading the middle. So I just see areas, ranges like this. Look for ranges like that. Break a structure, buy the retest, and catch moves like this on the ES. But this move right here didn't become available until about, I mean, it didn't start working until about 1 o'clock Central Time on the ES here. So if you had your limit set at 740 for a retest, the market didn't give you it until about 1 o'clock, almost 2 hours before the close. But I mean, with that said, I mean, that was like a 23-point move on the ES going into the close. So then it double tops the next session, and then it dumps, taking out this range. And then they take out the liquidity underneath this range, and then they use this range to push this thing higher. $85. Okay, so yeah, you trade you trade size. That's the only way that I find that ES is worth my time. I just I have I don't I just how do I want to say this? I just find it challenging to find a strategy that only consists of trading small size on ES without it wasting your time, because the money is just not, it's just not worth it. Trading micros are 1 to 3 contracts on the Nasdaq, obviously, because she can trade both ways, 200 points, and you'll make your money. Hmm. The ES orb has definitely been consistent. I think we made what, 20K on the ES orb, trading about 6 to 9 contracts, ES contracts. We made about 20K. That was probably, well, we was up about 27,000, almost 30,000 on the Nasdaq. That was a bunch of size though. I mean, I was trading, like I said, about 9 minis on ES. Mm. I really want to think about a strategy surrounding the ES orb. You know, I'll look at the ES orb tomorrow. If everybody wants to trade the ES orb over the Nasdaq orb, we can do that. It's not a big deal. It's definitely not a big deal. We can start trading the ES orb. I just have to figure out how I want to approach the ES, because sometimes she does fake out like this. We do get these stupid fake outs sometimes on the ES orb, but honestly, I don't think I should have. I mean, after seeing this big move to the upside, kind of shorting the ES orb would have been foolish here. If I went long at this orb, I probably would have actually went long. I think I would have went long here at the ES orb low. I think I would have went long, because there's no way I would have shorted this. You see a leg that breaks structure to the upside and it pulls back. I wouldn't have shorted that. I would have went against this orb, even though it did fake out to the downside here. And if you caught this thing from, I mean, shit, from the ES or from the top, man, that was a big move up. Or actually, never mind. 470, about 30 points, 31 points from the high. Mm. You long the orb high today? I think I hold on. You talking about today or earlier today? The orb high worked. Well, how big is your stops on ES, Alfred? I feel comfortable trading with a 10-point stop on ES, 11-point stop, and adjust it as needed. But if I'm going to trade 9 contracts, 6 contracts on the ES, oh, you talking about the second pullback? Oh, the same pullback that I got caught in this morning too. You talking about this pullback? Yeah, I got caught up in this one too. Mm. Well, I mean, if I really break it down, well, no, the ES is a cleaner. All right, we'll start. We'll start. I mean, since everybody wants to start trading the ES orb, I'll just keep the Nasdaq orb open on another screen. And we can just trade the ES orb and then oh, man. Yeah, I'm gonna trade 9 contracts. I think how I'm gonna play this. Think how I'm gonna play this is 74. Hmm. Let me see if I have all right. Mm, let me look at this. I mean, Alfred, well, that can't be right. That's not right. No, I'm talking about ES, Alfred. Mm. Well, maybe 5 mini contracts. Maybe 5. Mm. Mm. Yeah, it looks like ES ain't it says a double-edged sword. It's going to be a double-edged sword. If I trade, so I guess what I should do, uh what I should do is probably mm, mm, I should probably get comfortable trading a really tight stop. Mm, mm. Maybe I should get comfortable trading a 2-point stop. Mm, mm, mm. Let me look at this because I mean I have this data available. I just don't ever use it. Mm, mm, mm. Well, if I start trading that way, I'm gonna have to channel my inner. Let me rephrase that. I'm going to take a page from Muhammad's book. I recall Muhammad stating, because of the size that he trades, if he gets in at a level, he and it goes against him, he immediately gets out of it. He doesn't tolerate drawdown like that. See, I would tolerate the drawdown, even though it kind of doesn't make sense. I mean, I guess emotionally, I want to be in the trade because I don't want to get tagged in and out. But that's probably just on the Nasdaq. On the ES, I mean, she's not that volatile. If you're in a good spot, you can have a really tight stop. If you're in a good spot, yeah, I mean, it makes sense. Why would you be down? Well, I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say that it's definitely going to be it's definitely a work in progress because Like I said, I'll tolerate the drawdown. I'll tolerate it. But it doesn't make sense. I mean, if it kind of goes past your break even and you're suffering, all right, and then you're in drawdown, I mean, you can easily just have a tight stop, take that small loss, and if you still feel strongly about the position, kind of just re-enter where you were at. But then at the same time, I want to have a stop big enough to where I mean I don't just get ticked out like it's dancing around. But I mean I guess if when you're trading, like I mean I trade gold and we get decent entries on gold with little to no drawdown, and it's the same on ES. We get decent entries on ES too. It's just that I just hate the damn the waiting on it, man. I just hate the waiting. I mean it's different, man. It's definitely different on the personal account. It's your money. You know it's your money. That's why I'm not going to trade it because well, I'm not going to trade a small account on if I get a if I when I start my personal account, I need to have at least maybe 1,000, maybe $2,000. But then if I put $2,000 in a personal account, I can just get a couple of props. It's going to be a different it's a it would definitely be a difficult transition from a prop to my own personal account. Because no matter how much money I put in that account, I'll always think, man, this is probably like 20 prop accounts right here that I'm putting in an account. I would really have to ignore that fact for sure. And if I lose the money, it'll be my money. All right. So, all right. But we'll look at the ES orb tomorrow. We'll look at the ES orb. Yeah, you're right about that. And I guess we'll test it out. So I guess if we're all in agreement, we want to trade the ES orb now. Is that the consensus? Is that what everybody wants? The ES orb and not the Nasdaq orb anymore? Because if so, we'll switch over to the ES and we'll trade the ES orb. I just have to dude, it's like I go from Nasdaq and gold, then ES and gold. Nasdaq and ES or Nasdaq and gold or ES and gold. ES and gold. Nasdaq and gold. Is that what we doing? I just don't see anything consistent on ES lately. It's just not consistent anymore. Mm. Yeah, yeah, it would be nice. Mm. Probably the it happened. It happened like 7:30 in the morning or some shit like that. Then the ES orb took out that high, so I guess I would probably target that high or something. 74. Mm. 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 Yeah, I think that's probably why I don't trade the ES. It's got to be very cautious with it. And the slow moving is just too much. All right. So, well, I would have just gotten my target hit on this one if uh if I was at my desk a little bit sooner. Kind of got into this entry a little bit later, but I still think I can get this target hit on gold, I think, without too much of a hassle. Yeah, I should be able to get this target hit. We got price breaking out of this trend line on gold. Looks like the bulls are holding it so far. If you had this trend line drawn on gold for the entire session, all you literally had to do was trade the trend line. That's all you had to do today on gold. Just trade the trend line. Mm. All right, Alfred. Have a good night. Have a good night. Yeah, I got 15 minutes myself. I'm definitely about to hop in the club bed for sure. I guess since I mean with the ES orb now, I guess whatever. Uh, I guess I'll just keep my eye on. So I mean, the ES is definitely trading differently now. It not only does it trade similar to the Nasdaq, how the Nasdaq used to trade, it also looks like it now. Usually the ES likes to make measured moves. It gives you distinct patterns, kind of like with gold. You'll usually see a two-legged pullback into support, and then you'll see a push up. You see a run on liquidity to the downside. This is how the ES used to trade, but it seems like the ES doesn't do this anymore. It looks like when it breaks structure to the downside, or at least, kind of going back over the previous price action. Hmm. It seems like there's a lot more fake outs on the ES now. But I mean, it's and it seems like the ES is always trending. If you miss a pullback or if you miss an entry, it's hard to get into a decent entry on ES, or it's a challenge to find a decent entry on the ES because it seems like it's always trending. I haven't. I have. I'm looking back over several days, and I still do. The ES has not traded in a range for a very long time. There has not been a range day on the ES in a very long time. I think today probably was. Well, actually, let me look at it today again because maybe today was probably a range day. No, it was the ES trended again. The ES don't trade in a range anymore. What happened to the ES? We don't get range days on the ES anymore. All she does is trend. Yeah, she's just been trending. So I will say that this is kind of tough. Yeah, this is tough. Hmm. Mm, okay. All right. So let's hurry up and do this real quick. Okay. Well, I mean, like I said, it kind of does look like the Nasdaq is about to trade a little bit higher, but uh, I'll let this trade overnight. I'll just come back in the morning. Mm, yeah, maybe I should. Mm, I've definitely been slacking on these screenshots for whatever reason. I've definitely been slacking on them. Hmm. Hmm. Okay, that's good right there. Right. Okay. Okay. I think that's okay. Hmm. Maybe I can probably reuse these pieces right here. Hmm. That'd probably be it. Mm. Mm. Hmm. That's interesting. So it seems like this little range right here. Seems like this range was a hot spot for the bears, and it looks like, oh, that's interesting. So about a range between 960 and 944. Looks like it was used to push the market up. It consolidated, it broke, and then the bears were just using this as a wall. And then they finally broke down. They came right back up into this area. They traded into this range, broke through again, and still using this range as resistance right here. Okay. All right. So I'm definitely going to keep this range on the charts for a little while longer. All right, guys. That's it for me tonight. We'll definitely come back tomorrow morning, and we'll definitely look for more opportunities to earn some more money. And with that said, peace out, everybody. Have a good night.